Hello, and welcome to Closer Look. I'm Pam Zajac, and I'm here with Dr. Gerald Hill, Superintendent of the West Bloomfield School District. We're here to take a closer look at our schools and hear about some of our students' experiences through the eyes of our parents.
Thank you, Pam. Today we welcome Christy Forehand, parent of 3 students, 2 graduates and a current senior at West Bloomfield High School. You, Christy, are an ideal person for us to talk with today. We'd like to visit with you a little about your experiences that your children have had within our schools. And I know that all 3 of them have been heavily involved in sports. And would you mind telling us how they've been involved and what they did in the sports arena?
Sure. You're right, I have 3 children. My husband and I have 3 children, 2 of whom have graduated. All my kids started in preschool in West Bloomfield and have gone all the way through 12th grade. Our oldest son, Dan, graduated in 2008. He swam in middle school. He played 2 years of high school baseball. He played 4 years of high school football, and he swam on the high school swim team for 4 years. Our middle child, Claire, graduated in 2012. She played softball for 4 years and then was a diver on the swim and dive team for 4 years. And our youngest son, Pete, who will be graduating here in a couple of weeks, swam on the middle school swim team and also swam for 4 years in high school.
That's great. With all that experience in the athletic program, would you mind sharing with us your thoughts about the kind of activities that are available for student athletes in the West Bloomfield School District?
Oh, we've had a great experience as athletic boosters at West Bloomfield. My husband was a high school athlete, and it was important to him for his kids to have a chance to be involved in high school sports and even in their younger days. And it's just been a wonderful experience. We've had such great times as parents, as you know, from cheering in the stands, working as volunteers either in concessions or timing in a swim meet. And just our kids have really grown richer by their experiences with the athletics at West Bloomfield. And we've only dabbled in a few of the sports. There's quite a few more sports that kids can get involved in that we haven't even had experience with. But it's been great.
Christy, in addition to sports, I know that Pete has been a member of our award-winning marching band program for 4 years. Would you speak to the fine arts availability for students at West Bloomfield High School and how your son has benefited from those?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, all 3 of my kids have gotten involved in the visual arts classes at the high school. Pete is our musician, and though they all took instrumental music when they were younger, he's the one who hung on into high school and had a really great experience with the marching band. Just a really fine group of kids, strong parent involvement in marching band. It's a competitive marching band, so they're always trying to improve their show and go to competitions and wear their Laker pride on their sleeves so that they can represent West Bloomfield well. And it's been a great experience, and I know these are memories that he's going to carry forward with him for the rest of his life.
Christy, as you know, West Bloomfield School District prides itself on creating an academic environment where all students can succeed and thrive. And I know that your children had the opportunity to take several AP classes. Tell us about that experience taking the AP classes and what it meant to them for their post-high school graduation years.
Okay. Well, my husband and I are very lucky that our kids are all pretty well academically sound. They're pretty smart kids, kind of nice. And it's been great that West Bloomfield has been able to meet their needs academically. All 3 of them have taken many AP classes and have gone into college with AP credits. Claire actually started at U of M with over 30 credits, and that's crazy. It's a lot of credits for college that came from her high school experience. And it wasn't just AP, it's also a combination with dual enrollment, which is another opportunity for our West Bloomfield kids, where both Claire and Pete took college level classes through Oakland Community College while they were high school students, so that they're getting more college credit before they even graduate from high school. So I've always felt that the kids have been well challenged and given opportunities to extend themselves academically. And my husband and I say every time we've gone through open house, we'll sit in a classroom, the teacher finishes the presentation, and we look at each other and say, I want to take this class. These are just really great environment for our kids academically, and I'm going to be sorry when it's over.
That's great. So we've spoken about sports, fine arts, and academics. Christy, would you mind sharing a little bit about the social environment at West Bloomfield High School and the West Bloomfield School District and how that's benefited your children?
Sure. When my husband and I were looking to move to our home, and it's been 25 years now, we wanted an environment that had strong academics, strong school community, and we also felt we wanted an environment that was diverse. And West Bloomfield has that reputation. It's a diverse community, ethnically, socially, culturally, racially, and the high school mirrors that. And it's been a really good experience for my kids to be in class, on teams, have friends who are from a lot of different backgrounds. It just doesn't make any difference to them what their friends, where they came from, what their home language is, what the color of their skin is. It's just a non-issue because it's just part of their environment on a day-to-day basis. And I just know that's going to make them just a better global citizen and better prepared to meet the challenges of adulthood. It's been a really good environment.
That's great.
Christy, you've been heavily involved in our schools for many years now and very supportive. Everything from a PTO parent to working on our school environment and enrollment and facilities committees and the school board finance committee, and even sewing costumes for our school plays. Yep. So there isn't much you haven't dabbled in. What got you so involved in our schools?
Well, going way back, when my oldest, Dan, started at Gretschko, there's a parent-teacher organization. It was the first year Gretschko was open, and there was a need for parents to be involved, an opportunity for parents to be involved. And that really is just what's got me started volunteering. And I can say absolutely that every one of our schools has a great parent-teacher organization, great opportunities for parents to support the schools and the teachers through volunteerism, through your time, and whether it's planning a fun run or a bake sale or helping put together an enrichment class, program for the classrooms. It's just been so many opportunities, and it's just been a very welcoming environment for parent involvement, and not just in the schools, but at the district level too. As you mentioned, the finance committee, several different times over the years that I've been a parent, I've been involved in district level, either budget adjustment committees or a school improvement committee. And it's just nice to know that the community is valued that way, and that there's an opportunity for those who are interested to participate at that level. And it's been a great experience.
Christy, talk to us about where your two graduates are now and how they particularly benefited from being graduates from West Bloomfield High School, and some of the success that they've had, and how you can attribute that to West Bloomfield. Also speak a little bit about some challenges that they've had and maybe where we could improve how we do things.
Okay, well, both my older kids who have graduated, Dan and Claire, both went to the University of Michigan. And it's possible Pete's going to end up there too. He's been accepted, and that's hard for this Buckeye to admit. But Dan came out of West Bloomfield and directly into the mechanical engineering program, into the College of Engineering, and eventually became a mechanical engineer. And he was very well placed for his technical background. He had, particularly, I remember him telling me about the CAD classes that he had at West Bloomfield, computer-aided design classes. And when he got to U of M, and to similar classes, he was way ahead of his peers because he had already had CAD in high school. So I know that gave him the confidence to, help him be a strong student at U of M. Claire is recently accepted into the School of Education at University of Michigan, and from the time she was 5 years old and teaching imaginary students in our basement, she's wanted to be a teacher. So I know this is the right place for her. And she had the opportunity in her senior year at West Bloomfield to participate as a student intern, or teacher intern, I should say, through the political mentorship program that's at West Bloomfield High School. Up to that time, the students who were participating in that mentorship were being placed with public servants, like government officials or public safety officers. And Claire asked her counselor if maybe that could be extended to teachers, because she wanted to see if there was what it would be like to be a teacher. And that came to pass, and she spent a semester as an intern in Abbott Middle School, and then a semester as an intern at Scotch Elementary. And it was a really terrific chance for her to be hands-on in the classroom setting and get that first-hand experience as a teacher and not just as a student. And I know that's something that just underscored for her that she's taking the right career choice as she embarks at U of M. In terms of challenges, I do think some of the dual enrollment is an opportunity for us to smooth things over. I'd love to see as us streamline the ability for kids to be enrolled and build a partnership perhaps with the community college and not just an early college program like we already have, but something that would make it a little bit more seamless for students to participate at the with OCC and get college credits while they're still in high school. It's there, it's just it's a little bit cumbersome right now, and I think there's an opportunity there for it to be streamlined.
Great, thanks.
Christy, thanks for taking the time to be with us today, and we hope to see you after graduation.
This is just a sample of parent perceptions and experiences as we take a closer look at life within West Bloomfield School District. I would like to thank our guests today, Christy Forehand and Pam Zajac, and we will be back with more perceptions in a bit. Thank you.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back. We're here with Robert Brooks, father of our senior Marcus Brooks, who's at West Bloomfield High School. And before we talk to Robert, though, we're going to take a look inside West Bloomfield School District.
Hi, I'm Katie O'Shaughnessy and I'm a senior. My favorite thing about West Bloomfield has to be the video program because it allows me to be creative on my own terms. And I also love DECA because I really love business and I feel that it prepares me for the real world.
Adam Rosenberg, 12th grade. I'd say my favorite thing about West Bloomfield High School is the ability to kind of explore my own interests and the freedom that the teachers and curriculum gives us, and also being in tech in the drama program, because I think it's taught me a lot about just generally accomplishing goals and working as a team.
Hi, I'm Ariana Heyman. I'm in 10th grade, and my favorite part about West Bloomfield is all the AP classes because it allows me to challenge myself and be better prepared for the future.
Welcome, Robert. We're very pleased to have you on the program, A Closer Look, today. We are going to look at your family's experiences with our school district. And just on a personal note, I've gotten to know your son, Marcus, over the past 2 years as he's one of the co-chairs of the United We Walk committee. And I really didn't realize when I first started that all the work that the co-chairs do to keep the United We Walk momentum going within the community, and particularly that it's a year-round activity, it's not just a one day in January. Would you mind elaborating on Marcus's involvement as a student co-chair and how you think he's benefited from that involvement?
I will, but first, thank you for allowing me to share time with you, as well as to give you my input on Marcus. Marcus has grown so much as an individual through the programs at the high school, but most importantly, this MLK Day was something that he got involved with because we as a family always wanted to find a way to work more closely in our community, as well as give our ethnicity opportunity to shine in our community. Marcus, as a young man, experienced an opportunity to meet Rosa Parks when he was a little boy. And we lived in Southfield before we went overseas in the late 90s. And in moving back from overseas, we moved here in West Bloomfield. And when we came back, we got involved in the march every year. And he, as our youngest son, had such an interest to also want to get involved and actually show his leadership in doing so. And so in his junior year, he worked as a co-chair and then chairing in his senior year. It brought out his leadership capability and the ability to actually make good decisions on fundraising that he got involved with early on, working in the lower schools and encouraging them. He even got involved at the library where they did an MLK reading day, and he was really excited about being able to give back to kids and watch them learn about his own culture. I think we're unique in West Bloomfield for doing that.
Thank you, and I agree. The student co-chairs have been very motivational and inspirational for the adult people on the committee, and I think that Marcus and his fellow students have done a remarkable job in that matter.
Let me add one more comment. Chief Mike Patton was really inspirational this year as the adult leader. He had an opportunity, and with boys, it's special to see a male role model in such an event like this in order so that they learn about themselves just by reflecting on what law leadership means here in our community as well.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, I think that early on, Marcus was involved in the DECA and the marketing program, and he's got a real business sense about him.
Yes.
You mentioned the accounting department. What has he learned from that exposure?
Well, you know, Marcus, unlike my other two sons, has been involved in business-minded things. He has two close friends, and those close friends are both also studying business areas. They're 1 year older than him. And while he's been at West Bloomfield High, he's taken accounting, I think, 3 out of his 4 years. And in this year, he's also taking what we consider special training in the accounting class that he's in. And his teacher gives him advanced problems as well. Mm-hmm. And it's a special kind of caring that our teachers give to our students. Mm-hmm. I think Marcus is a great example in our home of some of the special care we've gotten at the high school. In the middle school, our middle child got special care as well. So we have just been a recipient. And I spoke earlier, we returned from overseas in 2001, and I met Kathy Chico, and that was my introduction to the school district. And that sold us completely on we had to have a home in the area to go to these schools. And we have not regretted not 1 minute of it.
Great. You've talked about his leadership in committees, his academic life at the school. Talk a little bit about the athletics that he's been involved in. I know Marcus has played football, and what are some of the experiences and benefits that he's had from participating on the football team?
Mm-hmm. Well, Marcus, as our athletic child, has loved playing in the defensive side of the football teams. And in this case, Coach Bellamy has been a great inspiration to him. He started in his freshman year, and in his freshman year, he lettered because they brought him up, I believe it was from the junior varsity to varsity team to play. And so in getting his letter early, he was so inspired because he felt like the coaching staff got around his accomplishments and encouraged him. He carried his highest GPA during the times where he played sports. So contrary to popular belief, I think that the sports we have here at West Bloomfield actually enhances our students' ambition and keeps them focused and motivated in their school and education. So I think it's done an outstanding job for him in his leadership.
Thank you. I know that Marcus is also involved in a couple of other activities. LINK is one of the activities, and AAA, AAA, and I don't think AAA is the American Automotive Club. So would you mind elaborating on those involvements?
I will. As far as LINK goes, Marcus had a student that he became very close to, and I won't recognize him by name, but honestly, one that went from green and as well as to Ohms and now into the high school. And that student, and the student has some disability, has helped him dramatically to show character. And that's the character that all people should be treated equally and all people should be encouraged. And I think Marcus, as a student to another student, is very encouraging. And so in his interaction in the LINK, I think has helped this other student as well be just one of the students, which is the best thing you can wish for in the case of that program. Relative to AAA, you're right, it's not AAA as in of Michigan, but it is the African American Association, and it is your students coming together, recognizing their own ethnicity. And in that, you give them the opportunity to come together, express some concerns maybe they have amongst one another, but at the same time come together with some unity. We do that in all of the diverse populace, as I understand it, within the high school. And we as parents encourage our students to get together to know one another so that they can interact and understand each other better.
So we've talked about a number of things related to Marcus, and I want to talk a little bit now about Marcus's future and how you see that future being positively impacted by his experiences as a student at in the West Bloomfield School District.
Okay. Well, Marcus is accepted at Central Michigan University, and we've already gone there. And of course, as parents, we've come to all of the informational pieces that the school gives relative to financial aid and all those things. You know, but quite honestly, he as a student has benefited because our programs, as I look at them, I can compare them with private education where people pay lots of money and don't get involved. And honestly, I have to say, as a family, Marcus has gotten the best care I could ever ask for here in the West Bloomfield schools. He as a student is so proud to represent with his green and white jacket that he has, his letter jacket, wherever he goes. And honestly, I think he's a great example of what West Bloomfield Schools actually generates in our community. Pride, Laker pride, I would say.
This is just another sampling of parent perceptions and experiences seen really through the eyes of their students, and we appreciate Mr. Brooks joining us this afternoon, and we will be back with many more episodes of A Closer Look where we can take another look into the life of students and parents and faculty of the West Bloomfield School District. And thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Welcome back. We're here with A Closer Look, and we're talking to Suzanne Levine, who's a parent of one of the seniors at West Bloomfield High School, and she's also the director of the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. We're going to talk to her in a minute, but first we're going to take a look at inside West Bloomfield School District.
Hi, my name is Mason Wilson. I'm a senior at West Bloomfield High School, and I'd have to say my favorite part about going to the high school is the English department. All the literature classes that I've taken have really opened my eyes to kind of insight that people have about the world around us.
I'm Deja Green, and I'm a senior at West Bloomfield High School. And my favorite thing about this school is AAA. AAA is just a way that I can learn about my African American heritage.
Hello, my name is Jason Pauley. I'm a senior at West Bloomfield High School, and my favorite part about the school is the forensics and debate program. It really helps us become really good public speakers, gets us very comfortable speaking in front of groups.
Welcome, Suzanne. You and I spoke at an Optimist meeting a while ago, and I was captivated by your enthusiasm for your son's involvement in our schools and the programs that he's involved in. I know that Zachary is a National Honor Society student. He's an AP scholar. I also understand that he mentors students through AP, his Spanish course. Would you mind talking a little bit about your son's experiences at West Bloomfield High School?
I'd be happy to. I actually have 2 other students that graduated from West Bloomfield and have done very well and were also very successful. Yeah, I've been very happy with West Bloomfield Schools because I really feel there's a place for your kid. Whether they're an AP student like my children or they're an athlete. Zachary also is in forensics and they took state champions this year. He's also in the theater program. He's also a medical mentor, which is a fabulous program where he has been shadowing doctors, trying to see if that's a field that he would like to enter into. And through his AP Spanish experiences, he's had an opportunity to mentor other students. And I think it's been fabulous because I think students learn, from peers. And it's a great, way for him to be a role model. And I think it demonstrates leadership. And that's what I love about the West Bloomfield schools. There are so many different opportunities for your child to express their interests.
Suzanne, you mentioned the medical mentorship program, and I know that Zach's been involved in that. How has that impacted him?
It's been an incredible experience. He's a singer, and he was shadowing a laryngologist who's a throat specialist who happens to specialize in singers that come to Michigan to sing at some of the venues. So he's actually helped the doctor scope patients, and the doctor's been very, very helpful in teaching him, how to look at a healthy throat, what are some signs of cancer. He came away from it really feeling very empowered and feeling like it really added to his knowledge base. And I think whether or not he goes into medicine, I think at least he has a great understanding of what's involved. In becoming a doctor, some of the hours and the many long years of devotion to study, but it was an incredible experience for him. One I think it's truly unforgettable.
Suzanne, you mentioned that Zach is a singer. It appears that he's having a lot of experiences in the fine arts in West Bloomfield High School. As a member of the Laker Express, they performed at the Capitol earlier this year. I had the opportunity to be there and witness that performance, and that group is a fantastic group. Would you mind sharing a little bit with us about your son's involvement in the fine arts at West Bloomfield High School?
Yeah, that's what's so incredible. There's so many different avenues for a student that wants to pursue either singing or acting or even forensics. Zachary auditioned for Laker Express as a freshman, and he got in, and it's a class and it's an after-school activity. And they, like you mentioned, they sang at the state capitol, which was an incredible experience. They sing at Greenfield Village during the holidays. They took first place in jazz ensemble in the state, which was quite an honor. And in fact, it's considered, I think they get 1 point at Michigan when they add up the points. So it's, it really was very prestigious for them to win this contest, this competition. He's also in forensics. They took first place this year in states. And he's also in theater. And so...
I saw Zach perform recently in To Kill a Mockingbird, and I've seen him in some other productions as well. Would you mind sharing with us his theater involvements a little more and what he's been doing and maybe what's coming up?
Right. He may be mad at me for telling this. Well, he did get accepted into a very prestigious acting program, so we're still waiting a university 4-year degree program. Wow. He was also accepted into U of M's, LS&A. So he has a lot of decisions to make, but he has a lot of options, and that's what I love about West Bloomfield. It's between his AP classes and all his extracurricular activities. His resume looks very impressive, and so yeah, the theater. He was bitten by the theater bug in the middle school. And continued in high school and has had ample opportunity to express himself. And he's even worked tech and lighting because I think it's important that, the students get a wide range of understanding what goes into a production, not just, show up on stage and say your lines. And the theater program is very, very open and willing to encouraging these students to be, assistant directors and help with the production. So I don't know if you've seen like the set designs and some of the things, the costumes that these kids have been involved with. It's mind-boggling. I have a friend that goes to a lot of Broadway plays, and she's always so impressed with the West Bloomfield High School productions. And if you go to even our forensic competition and you see the level of performance and everything that goes into these productions, you are really blown away.
And Bye Bye Birdie is coming up.
Bye Bye Birdie.
Zach's involved in that.
Yeah, he's Conrad Birdie.
Okay.
So it's going to be a great production. But everything that they do there, it's really so professional. And that's what I say, it's so great because he's been given so many opportunities to express himself, from the medical, mentorship, all his AP classes, theater, music. And I think he was involved in the Spanish club for a while also. If he had more time, he would probably be, he probably would have played hockey as well if he could have worked it out.
So of all those involvements, what do you think has been maybe the most important involvement to him, or a very significant individual at the school, something that he really truly benefited? Sounds like he's benefited from a lot.
Yes, there's so many, my goodness, there's so many teachers that have really impacted his life, like Dr. Brendel, the AP Calc teacher, Sturgill. I mean, a lot of them, which is so great, is that they've also, if you reach out as a student, they will definitely mentor you and take the time. Venatelli, I can't even say enough about it. I love him so much. He's been a true role model for Zachary. They have a great relationship, and that's why Zachary took AP Spanish, because of him. And I know that either I think he's scheduled to take the AP exam, but hopefully at whatever he scores on it, I'm sure he'll get credit at the university he's going to.
Yeah, you must be very proud of Zach, and,
I am.
and we're very pleased to hear that.
Yes, he's graduating summa cum laude. I have to put that little plug in.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for being with us today, Suzanne.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
This is another example of parent perceptions and experiences as we continue to take a closer look at life within the West Bloomfield School District. I would like to thank Suzanne Levine for joining us today, and Pam Zajac for co-hosting our show, and we look forward to hearing more parent comments as we have future episodes of A Closer Look. Thank you.